Okay, God willing, we will read some more from Genesis, and I'll be able to get this recorded and get it out. My computer's been shut off and turned back on. Hopefully that clears the lockup problem. Sometimes this computer I'm using just locks up, and after that it may or may not come back, so no reason not to try. Let's pick up a little more from ex-Jesuit priest Gerard Buffard, who's confirmed Alberto Rivera's testimony and personally knew him, and both of them speak or have spoken about the Jesuit influence worldwide throughout history and their personal experiences with it. So let me go ahead and set up the audio, and we will listen to a little more of that and then read from Genesis some more verses of chapter 47. Well, that's good to hear. Well, no surprise there. I think the picture that came up here might be Inigo. He changed his name to Ignatius. I guess it sounded more Roman. Loyola. If that's him, he started the Jesuits back in the early 1500s, and basically was a bootlicker to the Pope, who was in power then, and then he created the secret society after losing his mind after the Spanish War, in which his leg was shattered, and then he lost it all and wandered about and apparently stuck his head in caves and tortured himself, and came up with a plan to create a militia within the papal authority, and that created the Black Pope, who is now went from Peter Hans Kolvenbach to Adolfo Nicholas recently, which is weird, in 2008, because it's generally an appointment for life, but Kolvenbach supposedly surrendered his, but maybe they think they need two now, because they need two generals to manage their affairs in the big events. Anyway, that's what some people say. Let's read a little more. See if sound check. Okay. Little demonstration of the herd mentality. Genesis chapter 47, verse 25, William Tyndale version. Which answered, Our health is in the land, only our God behold us, and we shall be joyful serving the King. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives, let us find grace in sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. For that time till into present day in all land of Egypt, the fifth part is paid to the kings, and it is made as into a law without the land of priests. That was for this condition. And Joseph made it law over the land of Egypt unto this day that Pharaoh should have the fifth part except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. There you go. Therefore Israel dwelled in Egypt, that is, in the land of Jeson, and welded it, and he was increased and multiplied full much. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. Verse 28. And he lived therein 16 years, and all the days of his life were made 147 years. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years, so the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. And that wasn't even that old by his father's standards. And when he say the day of death nigh, he called his son Joseph and said to him, If I have found grace in thy sight, put the hand under mine hip, and thou shalt do mercy and truth to me, that thou bury not me in Egypt. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. That glitch again. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die, and he called his son Joseph, and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt. And let's stop and see about the glitch.